Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. We're produced out of Indie Music TV in New York. That's Ron Conkema, New York. Yes, again, that's Indie Music TV. You could also catch us on RTF Sports Network. That's RTF Sports Network, the #1 growing streaming sports network on the air today. Catch us every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, we're their anchor show. And catch our rerun on a morning drive time from 10 to 11 a.m. You could also catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Facebook Live Monty and the Pharaoh page, Twitch TV Monty and the Pharaoh page, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, or any streaming network. We're on it. You can find us anywhere. Also catch us on New York Cable, Channel 115, every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also catch us Saturday mornings on Channel 115 from 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And catch us Saturday morning at 1:30 a.m. on Channel 20. Soon we'll be coming to Amazon, so catch us there also. We want to thank everybody for the support. And again, please catch us every Thursday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., Monty the Pharaoh, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, new, old, endangered, and let's have a little fun. Talk to you soon. Monty and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. For the fans out there who look forward to our show every week, unfortunately, snow has cost us a couple of issues, right? 2 weeks in a row? Yeah. Was it 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah,
snow in the Northeast?
Snow, my favorite four-letter word.
But considering what's going on in Texas right now, it's...
Well, they don't know what to do with snow when they see it, so apparently they're, getting their asses warm.
Well, it could be a little worse for, again, there's worse things that could happen, so... If people are just tuning in, they expected us on about 16 minutes ago. Unfortunately, we had to do a few things. So not a huge problem. Anyway, I want to say welcome back to the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
And welcome back to our super producer, Mr. Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, pal?
Doing great as always.
How you handling the snow?
Not a fan, but, we make do.
Can I reveal to the fans 2 weeks ago you might have had a little bit of a COVID scare? I guess I'm just letting
scare.
the cat scare. Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Scare.
Letting the cat out of the bag. How did it turn out? What ended up happening?
It turned out fine. I got a test, and I tested negative. So did my family. So everything was fine.
That's great stuff.
Excellent.
How about you, Jimmy? How you holding up on this whole COVID thing?
I've had enough. With everything that's been going on in the world and everything in general, the one year where New York could really use a decent winter weather-wise. We're getting the tar kicked out of us.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's funny, too. Right before February hit, I was out on the front lawn at Wisteria Studios with my partner, Bart Grace, from Wisteria Hall.
Right.
And we were saying, I said,
Is that a shameless plug you just pulled off right there? Okay.
And
as long as I could identify that.
Well, I studied from you. We're standing out in front of the studio, and Bart laid the whammy down. Sorry, Bart, I have to, because it's funny. Bart turns to me and he goes, we've been pretty fortunate, but I got a bad feeling, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you just cursed us. And February has turned into an absolute...
the invitation, more importantly.
That's not really what he sounds like, but, you should hear his takeoff on me. God damn it, it's hilarious, but, yeah.
You're a little easier than he is, though.
Oh, I would think so, yeah. I would think so.
Just a little
more animated.
You are animated.
Oy, great. I'm a cartoon.
Wonderful. I didn't call you a cartoon.
No, I did. There's a difference.
It's good to be back. We missed the fans out there, and we got a hell of a month coming up.
Yeah.
Right after this, we have ECW superstars, Mr. Shane Douglas and Sandman will be in studio.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk a little bit about last week or the last 2 week issues. Mark Cuban halting the national anthem at Dallas Mavericks games. The Dallas Mavericks have made a decision so significant and offensive, it took more than a month for anyone to notice. So, again, whoever wrote this article is like, everybody's so upset about it, no one even noticed. But Mark Cuban decided that rather than play the national anthem, he just wouldn't play it at all. But this wasn't against the U.S. It was basically to say that there is no patriotism in this country, so no one really cares.
Was that Cuban's intention, though?
That's what he claims is the intention.
He got all fancy pants. He was trying to stimulate conversation, like there already isn't enough stimulated conversation on the rights of people and what's right.
Yeah, right.
You stop playing the national anthem before games, you're a turd.
Thank you.
You're a turd.
Thank you.
The end. It's such a hard thing to stand up before you get to enjoy an event that this country allows you to enjoy, because, by the way, they're not doing this in certain parts of the world where you're allowed to go and see forms of entertainment and have some freedoms. Some people are pretty much locked away in their houses, and they're just numbers. You want to live in a country like that? So stand up for 2 minutes and freaking listen to the dance. What did the Hanson brothers say in Slapshot? Listen to the fucking song.
Right.
The end.
Well, I'll tell you this.
It's asinine.
So I come from a planet I come from a planet or a world where you don't wear your hat indoors. Again, obviously.
Dude, I even honored you, man. I mean, after a while, I was like, boy, when I eat with Mike, I better take my hat off at the diner because it's something that's important to you.
It's important.
Is it so rude of me? No, I'm going to leave my hat on. Don't you tell me how to eat.
Obviously, we're wearing it indoor in studio, but this is
our shtick.
It's a shtick, right?
Please.
But again. Number one, stand for the national anthem. Number two, take your fucking hat off.
Oh, yeah.
Put your hand over your heart.
It's so hard.
I mean, this is... we are losing the core values of this country.
Absolutely. And can I say this? If you intend to come to this country and rewrite the book on the things that were established, stay where the fuck you are. Sorry.
Not only that, Mark Cuban, this country has afforded you the availability to become a billionaire off the internet. You fucking clown.
Right, and it's so funny, too. I'm sure he's got a big, giant fence in his front yard with security.
That's
so who the fuck's he kidding about freedoms?
I agree there.
Who the fuck is he kidding? I always thought he was a prick.
So,
whatever.
Liberals celebrate the death and passing of Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Good riddance trends on Twitter.
Wow, how classy. How classy.
Rush Limbaugh on Wednesday with their messages of disdain for the 70-year-old media legend causing rest in piss, nice. Good riddance, and rotten hell.
Oh, fantastic.
Trend on the site.
Right. Well, just remember all you so-called peaceful people, the liberals. I just would like to remind you all that the 60s hippies turned into the 70s sellout yuppies. And you guys are no better. You're actually worse. And you're not even supplying us any cool music like the 60s did.
Folks, the Pharaoh is bringing it today,
So fuck off.
The Pharaoh is bringing it.
You know, I'm not a fan of Rush Limbaugh, but I'm certainly not going to say things like rotten hell and good riddance and rest in piss. Because if you think that you're one of them liberal, loving people and that the other side was all evil... This is extremist fucking statements. You're as much of an ass as anybody on the other side that's an extremist. Fuck off.
Again, where's
fuck off is the word for today. Where is the
moral
value? Ramsey. Fuck off.
Where is the moral value of this country? Religion.
Well,
peace, love,
Dude, we're attacking everything that was built over the last 200 years, and it's being allowed to happen. You know? So,
it's
keep running your mouth, guys. You're doing a great job. Fuck off.
Well, on a lighter note, I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for the Monty and the Pharaoh show.
Right.
To the right is the lead singer of the band, Wisteria Hall, along with his partner, Bart Griggs. Wisteria Hall's songs could be found on Spotify, iTunes, Reverb Nation, and where music is sold. Some of their songs are In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. I love your music, man.
We got some new stuff coming, by the way.
Very excited.
We're almost done with the second record, and matter of fact, yesterday Bart showed me a new song that is so exciting. I think we're going to have to go in and record it for the release. It's really good.
Can I make a statement here? That's
Go ahead.
Bart, who I don't know well. I know him through you. But I know him, right?
Yeah, right.
Again, I know you have your hands deep into it, but he is one of the best songwriters I've probably ever met. He's incredible.
He comes up with a lot of great stuff, and it's a great collaboration.
Well, I recommend the fans that they go out there, check out Wisteria Hall. Maybe one day we'll have him in studio and they'll perform live on the stage.
There we go.
If you don't know this, you're watching Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty and the Pharaoh can be seen on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, the Monty and the Pharaoh page, Channel 115 in New York. That's New York Cable every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30. And for early risers, Channel 115 from 6 a.m. to 6:30. In fact, the show was on before this show.
Oh.
I watched it as I was doing a few things around.
How is television nowadays? I don't have one.
Yeah, I recommend you get one.
Nah.
Channel 20, 2 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. for these guys that go out drinking and you want to have a little fun and get a little warmed up for your girl. Watch a little M&P. It'll get you warmed up.
There you go.
You'll perform well in the sack.
Oh, my God.
Many of you need that.
Wow, an hour of Alexa Bliss. I'm ready to rock and roll. Oh, you can't anymore.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break with more Monty and the Pharaoh.
See you in effect.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Pharaoh is seen only here out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. That's on Long Island, in case anybody wants to find us.
Oh, yeah. Keep looking. You don't want to find me.
Former President Trump gets past his second impeachment attempt as our friend Nancy the Devil Pelosi
What are we doing this morning?
is losing her mind.
Why are you bringing up this shit? Yeah, very impressive. I'd like to congratulate the GOP for refusing to acknowledge the fact that was an insurrection. However,
An insurrection.
Yeah, well, whatever it was. I mean, whatever it was definitely something. However, Nancy Pelosi is also a steaming pile of shit.
She is. Thank you.
And I'd like to congratulate all the politicians for further enforcing the fact that I have zero confidence in all you fucking ass clowns. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm sickened by our government's
Now
conduct.
it's very important to make sure if former President Trump dies that he can never be buried.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
In a national
Throw the
cemetery.
gas on! The gas! The light! Hit the match!
One day when we end this show, you're going to reveal who that imitation is of on the last show.
Well, there's a history to this, though. This voice actually goes back decades, to tell you the truth. So it's really not a takeoff on anybody other than my own imaginary, complaining, whining, bitchy character. But there's a few it reminds me of, if that's what you're getting at.
Speaking of devils,
The
internet got crazy over last Monday night's Raw as they caught Alexa Bliss kneeling on a pentagram. Alexa Bliss teases the return to The Fiend, but she kneels in front of a pentagram. What are your thoughts as the internet people are flipping out?
Wyatt laughing spreads his wings. Oh, Lord, yeah, did it. Bum, 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 bum. Who's turning on Black Sabbath over a pro wrestling angle? What are you talking about? This is the stupidest thing I've ever... Wait, what happened? The Christian people jumped on? This is
everybody
outrageous.
like this is first of all, a pentagram isn't necessarily the devil, is it?
We crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin 20 years ago on a cross. Matter of fact, Sandman's coming in today and he was on a cross. They're freaking out over this?
Yeah.
Really? You put any stock in this? Alexa's your girl. What say you? Has she gone to the dark side? Does she return your calls anymore?
I think Alexa is doing a fantastic job.
I like it.
And again, for all these non-wrestling or these wrestling fans that just hate the product, I am telling you, if there were fans here, again, you wouldn't be able to get away with some of the things that are going on, right, with the disappearing and reappearing.
Right.
Well,
they kind of still do pull it off in front of people.
It's hard. It's hard.
I've seen them do it. The lights go out and someone's missing.
One thing that's interesting with Alexa, when Randy sees her, they're playing like no one else sees her except for Randy.
Right.
Which is kind of
cool.
Kind of cool.
Kind of like
you can't get away with that in front of live fans.
Right.
I totally get it.
Right.
But if there were live fans, I would say 90% of the stuff that you got going on right now is great.
Huh.
I mean, we had a conversation. I asked you, was Roman Reigns a Hall of Famer? Not more than was he a Hall of Famer. Is he in the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time?
No, I don't believe that, but I think he's a Hall of Famer. That's where I stand with Roman.
Will Roman Reigns be in the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time?
I'm not sure about that. We would have to. We'll have to see when the career is over. Right now, it's hard to say.
Well, staying on the subject of Alexa Not So Bliss, the WWE star Alexa Bliss slams Twitter harassment over bizarre claims that her fiancé is already married. But why things are going well, like we spoke about for the former women's champ, it's still continually having to deal with seemingly obsessed fan who keeps harassing her over her future husband, singer Ryan Cabrera. The fan states he's concerned about Bliss' well-being and he's just trying to protect her.
Oh, get a fucking life.
Thoughts?
Get a fucking life. You're stalking a professional wrestler. Wow. I mean, just go outside behind a tool shed and hit yourself with a brick till you can't think anymore. What kind of fucking idiot are you? You know? It's ridiculous, dude.
By the way, Sunaid said Alexa Bliss is hot just sitting there. We totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. No argument there.
No argument there.
Alexa
responds to this gentleman. Sir, once again, for the 1 millionth time, you don't know me. You do not know. I do not know you. We have never spoken, and we have never met.
Okay. What is this? I mean, why is she even talking to this guy publicly?
Well, I think coming off of the whole thing that happened with Sonya Deville, some of the shit's getting out of control.
Why doesn't she just ask Vince to send a couple of guys over there? That'll be the end of that.
Well, anyway,
Isn't that the way things used to be? She just whispered to Vince in the office, this guy.
I did some investigating with James Terry.
Yeah.
To get this person.
Yeah.
And we think we may have found the two people that are harassing Alexa Bliss.
Let me see.
I'm not saying these two people are the ones that are doing it, but we kind of feel this could possibly be the chance.
You kind of feel, because I don't even know who you're talking about. Can I see this? Can I see these people?
Well, once Maddie pops up the picture,
dear
you'll be able to take a look and comment on it.
This is according to James Terry? Or
No, James, I put on the case. You got it on? So James Terry, I put on the case, and he thinks these may be the two people harassing Alexa Bliss.
I'm waiting, folks, to see the picture come up on the screen. I usually don't see these things, but...
one guy looks like Bigfoot. I haven't seen the picture. The picture came up, though?
Yeah, it's up right now.
Really?
I don't see no picture.
But anyway, one guy looks like Bigfoot, and the other guy just looks like some kind of a time... Oh, there they are. Right here. This guy and this guy. This guy is so ugly, he hides himself black because he doesn't want anyone to know who it is.
Hell are they?
And the other guy looks like, I don't know what he looks like. He looks like some kind of worm.
I have no idea. They look like they might even be stalking each other. No. What is that?
I don't know. What is it is exactly...
Jerry Garcia?
The guy looks like he hasn't been laid.
I don't even know who that is.
Neither one of those guys look they've been laid in 20 years. So
wow.
So no wonder they're harassing
How did James come up with that photo? Maybe they sent him. You know, maybe they like him too. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know who that is. Oy.
Neither do I. I just found them on the internet. James
okay.
sent me the picture.
I bet they're rooting for you to lose them after you found them. Anyway.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more of today's show. Thank you for fans tuning in so early. And don't forget, right after this, we've got Shane Douglas and the Sandman.
EC Dub. Be right back.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. Elm Logistics for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
Jimmy, I just got the best hookup on tickets.
Fill me in.
I went to www.seatslinks.com and ordered the best tickets with the best prices.
Call 718-676-0504. SeatsLink, the complete ticket experience.
Tell them Charles sent you. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh Scene, every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. Real quick, Jimmy, before the next subject, What About has helped out with the show, and he said these two that we posted have been podcasting for a while, those two guys. That's what he wrote. They have been podcasting for a while, those two guys, so I don't know. One guy looks like Lurch and looks like he hasn't been laid in 20 years, and the other guy looks like a twerp.
Right. Well, that explains why they've been doing pro wrestling podcasts for years and years and years. You know, we do this in our spare time. We don't do this
in real life.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. You can send them wrist guards if you want, though. They're probably exhausted. Anyway, what else we got? Oh, thank you. Who's that? What about? Thank
wrist
you. What
guards.
About? Thank you. Yeah, why not? Wrist guards. Sure. What is this? Carry on here. What is?
All right. Anyway,
what is this?
Tom Cole 50 took his own life Friday. His brother Lee Cole announced on the news on Twitter, and he called out Vince and Linda McMahon. My brother Tom committed suicide a couple of years ago, Lee wrote.
A couple of hours ago.
Vince McMahon and his wife Linda let child molesters into their company years ago and did everything possible to cover up what they did to my brother. I hope you can sleep at night, Vince, as our family suffers. Thank you. Tom Cole worked as a ring boy, for people that don't know, for the WWE, and accused employee Terry Garvin. We talked to Tito about it and Tony when they were in studio.
Right.
And ring announcer Mel Phillips of sexual misconduct and harassment.
He was awful. Go on. He was. Mel Phillips was terrible. Go on.
Unfortunately, Tom took his own life, and his brother claims it's because of this molestation problem.
Okay.
My brother was a good man, a good father, until the pain was so much to bear. Remember, this company, the WWE, would take underage children across state lines. He also was a perfect victim. Father not around and an alcoholic mother. These men knew what to look for. Thoughts?
What was the legal decision on the Ring Boy scandal?
The legal was
it
was settled out of court.
He settled out of court.
Settled out of court.
What does the word settled mean to you?
Settled means that you've accepted whatever they've offered.
Okay.
And you're going to take it and go.
And you're going to move on, right?
Yes.
You're going to move on. Okay.
Yes.
So how is it 30 years later, because it's 30 years later.
Yes.
It is now entirely, 100%. It's tragic what happened, but it's 100% Vince McMahon's
By the way, folks,
fault.
we've got angry Pharaoh today. I mean, he's not giving
It's 100% Vince McMahon's fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
This he never let it go, and he spent every day thinking about it. Forget his kids, forget his wife, forget his life. Nope, it's Vince. He's ruined me. That's it. 30 years later, huh? But you settled out of court for money. Well, that's on you. Maybe you should have just kept going and going and going until you had him where you wanted him legally, if you were completely in the right and he was truly guilty, these people.
Or maybe you should have been like Marty Jannetty and took a brick and hit him over the head with it.
You can always do that, too.
Right?
You can always do that, too.
So you had a choice, right, for everybody out there?
Listen, if someone's going to mess my life up so badly that I may actually think about hurting myself...
Well, Matt, can you weigh in on
what
this?
on earth?
Matt, I want you to weigh on this. You have a choice, right? You got this guy, right? You're young, underage, totally get it. I don't even know if you're underage. You're 19, so you're not underage.
Whatever.
You have a choice. Take a blowjob, give a blowjob, or hit the guy over the head with a brick and run away.
I'm hitting
choice?
I'm hitting him with a brick. I'm hitting him with a brick.
It's a tough one, right?
I don't give a crap what the
Again, take a blowjob, give a blowjob.
No, I'm hitting him with a brick.
Right? Or hit him with a brick. So remember, Matt?
Wait a minute.
Remember Marty Jannetty, who was here? He had that same thing happening to him, and he took supposedly
he hit him with a brick,
where he announced on this show first that he hit the guy over the head with a brick and then threw him in the river.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and left him to die.
Yeah,
Right.
I remember that.
Right.
So what are you doing, Matt? You hitting him?
I think I would take the blowjob.
What? Look at you getting off.
Hey.
He's getting off.
Yeah.
What the freak?
So,
I mean,
okay.
you presented me with a couple options.
Well, it's true. It's your choice. It's
Fair
your
enough.
choice.
So you're taking the blowjob. I get it.
Matty.
Now you're going to go and bellyache and cry about it 20 years later?
Are you going to be mad about that load you spewed?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Probably not.
So the guy who's giving is actually risking the potential that, 20 years from now, you might be really mad about spewing.
Yeah, I might, but...
Wow, you're twisted, man. You get to dump a load, and then you're going to kill him 20 years later?
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Matt, speak. Go ahead.
I mean, that might be a life-changing decision, I think.
Why don't you just hit him with the brick? This way nobody has to touch each other.
Or take the blowjob.
What
Take
is
the
going
blowjob.
on here? Are you taking it? What's your answer?
Well, listen, if
This is a horrible
whatever
conversation.
I would
What's
choose,
going on here?
listen, without really committing to this, whatever I would choose, if I took the brick, I would live with it.
Right.
If I took a blowjob,
You
or
live
gave a
with it.
blowjob,
You
or
live
gave a
with it.
blowjob,
Don't you?
I would live with it.
With the fuzzy on the phone. What are you doing? And we can.
Little
Oh
schmitzer.
no! They're
Little
gonna use a
schmitzy
warm
on the
sponge
corner.
to clean it. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm getting ill.
And settle out of court.
Let's settle out of court. Let's settle. Okay, it's all over. I took some money.
Hey, I
It's
got a
all
blow.
over.
Hey, better yet,
It's horrible.
take a
man.
blowjob and get paid for it.
Wow.
Now you're a hooker,
Now we're
Matt.
talking.
Now you're a
What is
hooker, brother.
going on?
I mean...
Listen, in all seriousness, it's horrible.
Look
that he
at
did
you.
This. Well, what the hell?
Look at you not giving Tom Cole an inch.
Why? I wouldn't give him. I wouldn't give him 7. Look at that. I'm not budging. Rectum? Damn near killed him.
Nothing like these. Nothing like these early
God.
morning shows.
No, I know. I'm not even awake. I don't care.
Well, anyway, if it doesn't get worse, all the former wrestlers who have passed away are now taking the lawyers
Wait a
now
minute.
taking the WWE.
The ones who've passed away?
Yeah, their lawyers now
their
taking
lawyers.
the WWE to the Supreme Court.
Keep going. Whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Snuka, they looked at his brain. Guess what?
Yeah.
He had like that CTE.
Right.
So now they want money.
Okay. They want money. Very interesting. Well, good luck. You'll lose. Right?
Again,
Whatever.
Benoit had CTE too.
Right. The only thing that's ever going to change the things that are, wrong in wrestling as far as fairness to the athletes, it's going to be government intervention. I've said it 1,000 times.
How about the land of excuses?
It's not going to be anything else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I killed my wife and kid.
Right.
I had CTE.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
You didn't get me cocaine. Let me
Right.
knock your head off. Let me knock your block off.
Right.
And let me kill you.
Right.
And then put you in a bed and then say, oh, I had CTE.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. You live like rock stars, and then you want to sue the label.
Wow.
What else is new?
Morning Pharaoh.
What else is new? Could you imagine Led Zeppelin? I'm filing a lawsuit against Atlantic for all the drugs I did backstage before all those concerts. And my wiener hurts from all the groupies. I'm suing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. You run a risk. This is your form of entertainment. You were paid very well, most of you.
By the way, fan out there, Tusnada spreading.
What?
Jesus Christ, man. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Jesus Christ,
Jesus
man.
Christ? What?
Laughing my ass off. Thanks for making me laugh.
You're welcome. Hey. Is that Jesus laughing? Yeah, he is. Well, we know he's a Monty and the Pharaoh fan.
I don't know, man.
What?
Let's
What
talk
do you
about
don't
something
know?
positive.
Don't get me all crazy
Let's
now.
stay positive,
We're
okay?
spiritually sound.
Let's stay positive.
What?
In honor of Black History Month,
Okay.
we honor one African American each week for the month of February. Unfortunately, we've been off for the last two February.
Yeah, we can't honor
we honored
anybody.
Butch Reed a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
and this week we're going to honor
Tony Atlas.
Mr. Tony Atlas. Thoughts on Tony, Jimmy Farrow?
I love Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas is from my earliest days of being a fan. He was the best. I still wish they had put a title on him, like, a world championship. And he's just great. I was always a fan of his. My first major memory is him and Patera at Shea Stadium. That's how far back I go. He was amazing.
By the way, GJ says so many wrestlers went to Japan and WCW, etc., and sue Vince. Makes sense.
Right. I agree. I mean, you might as well. That's what I've always said, too. What, Crockett's not responsible for the decades of booking and the wrestlers that worked for him?
Stay focused on Tony Atlas. Why are you drifting off?
Because the comment came from the fan and it made
right,
sense.
Pizza 027 says the guys are hitting the truth hard on a Sunday morning.
Man,
it's
on
a morning,
Sunday? I thought it's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Oh,
but
my
it's okay.
God.
Pizio had a rough last night.
So maybe he was partying with the Pharaoh. I don't even. I don't know.
All right,
Where were you last night?
Where does
anyway.
Tony Atlas is one of the all-time greats.
Absolutely. I love Tony Atlas. By the way, he had one of the most beautiful drop kicks. Can I throw that in?
Yeah, absolutely.
What a beautiful drop kick that guy had, and he was so. Oh, how did they not put a belt on him?
They did. They put the tag team belts on.
Oh, stop it. That was nice and all, but he should have been world champion or at least the Continental champion.
Listen, dude, we've met Tony. Tony's been in studio. Actually, he's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
I think he would even say he was not responsible enough to be a world champion.
I guess you're right.
Okay? If I am running a business, which I run businesses, right?
Right.
I would not put Tony Atlas in charge. Even to this day, I would have put Tony
Not
Atlas
even for a
in
couple of weeks. Can't keep him in line for a couple of weeks.
You know what kind of damage a couple of weeks could do?
I forgot to get up for the match.
Let's not forget, I was having a discussion with Super Agent Eric Sims a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the Young Rock, which I'm going to bring up next.
Oh, God.
And I was talking about, really, honestly, with all due respect, Rocky Johnson was a piece of shit, dude.
Was he?
I mean, the guy's making money.
What?
And he leaves his family in motel rooms.
Was this on the show?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, a piece of shit.
He was working.
It's a little too hard. It's a little too harsh.
But that's part of the business.
But the guy's making money. You got to take care of your family first. So Eric was defending him, saying, these guys weren't making a lot of money.
What was he doing to not take care of them? What were they showing? Did they show something on the show that made it like?
Well,
if he's not
with
around,
all due respect, Tony
with
Atlas, Sonny Beach, and Pat Tanaka were in it almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And remember the story that we were honoring Rocky.
We were supposed to have him on. Right.
So, unfortunately, he passed away. But he was discussing around how they had to hide the fact, because he used to travel with his family, that while his family was in one room, he was banging with some other girl 3 rooms down.
Like I said earlier, they lived like rock stars, and now they want,
So going back to Tony Atlas, he's given the tag team championship.
Yeah.
And they can't even make money off it because Tony is unreliable.
Right. All right, fine. Have it your way. Wait a minute. How are we honoring him this way? I wanted a belt on him, and you're like, nope, he's irresponsible.
Well, again,
I'm not giving him shit.
This doesn't change the fact that Tony Atlas, number one, is a good human being.
Oh, he's awesome.
Number two, one of the great all-time wrestlers. Forget black, white, Chinese, or whatever.
Absolutely. And a hell of an artist, by the way.
A great
artist.
artist.
You can get some of his artwork, I believe, through our site.
Yep, www.montyandthepharaoh.com. Tony Atlas will make you anything, draw anything you want.
Very talented.
And you could order it right on the Monty
and would you
and
have
the Pharaoh
pegged
page.
Tony Atlas to be an awesome artist? Come on.
No, I would not.
He's a fantastic artist.
Speaking of the Young Rock debuted on Tuesday night after the M&P show on Channel 115.
Why do I not care?
And again, we were talking about Rocky Johnson, and I could not stop thinking about Rocky Johnson just not being a good human being.
Huh. Very interesting. Well, I didn't see The Young Rock. I'm sure you were pleased with the ratings. They got 5 million viewers. Isn't that interesting?
Did they get that many?
Yeah, it got 5 million.
The show really wasn't that good, by the way, my friend.
Why am I not surprised? I don't even care about it.
They had this Andre and this Iron Sheik. Listen, it was good for me as a wrestling fan, but overall as a show, it wasn't that high quality.
I'd rather see Young Pharaoh. I think it's more interesting.
I think it made start.
I
think you may go to jail after what you spoke about Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, that's great. Can I raid her office first? Oh, sorry. I would like to steal her,
Sunday is the Elimination Chamber, my friend.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm trying not to think about it, There's so much going on right now that I'm kind of overwhelmed, You got any thoughts on it?
I'm thinking this is just another pay-per-view to get us to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it feels
I'm very
like filler.
excited for anybody that's a fan of professional wrestling and a fan of this show that in just a few months, we're going to have a WrestleMania with 25,000 people over 2 days. And I think, my God, for the sport that we love, it's almost like a resurrection.
Do you like that they're doing 2 days?
I'm fine with it.
I'm not so great with it. I think it's overkill, personally.
Do you really?
Yeah, come on, man. WrestleMania is supposed to be like the Super Bowl. Bang. Now we're going to have 2 nights. I can't take it, man. It's always...
Bro, you want to sit through 7 hours of wrestling?
No, I don't want it to be 7 hours. Make WrestleMania 3 or 4 hours like it used to be.
Yeah, you got the NXT. It's not that way anymore. You
Damn,
have the
because
NXT
we have
product,
roster overload.
but you
I'm
have
so tired of
NXT.
it.
You've got to put them in the forefront at some points.
Did it ever occur to the business that this oversaturation of rosters, whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, it's hurting the business? There's too many wrestlers. You can't establish an upper echelon and a mid. You can't. You're always, I forgot about this guy. I got to push this guy. Ah, crap, I forgot about this guy. You got 20 pounds of shit in a 2-pound bag. And I think that it's hurting the business.
That's a good point.
And by the way, the Elimination Chamber match itself for the title sucks. You see some of the guys in that match?
Well,
I'm supposed to take these guys seriously. Some of these guys that are in the chamber match.
Miz stepped away from the Eliminate. Does he cash in?
I don't see him succeeding if he does cash in one way or the other.
Does the Fiend interfere in the Elimination Chamber?
He could.
You seem really jacked up about it.
I'm not jacked up about it. I feel like the whole effing card is a holdover, like you said, till WrestleMania. And I think that some of the people, the wrestlers that were selected for the chamber
match.
Does
Kofi Kingston put himself in the WrestleMania main event against
Drew
McIntyre?
Are you trying to force me to sleep? Are you trying to force me to sleep? It was bad enough we had to deal with let's be diverse and shove Kofi Kingston up your fucking corn shoots till you can't stand him. We did this last year.
Eric Halverson says, amen, Pharaoh. Amen.
Peace, bro. Thank you.
Dude, Matt, this morning, Pharaoh, this guy's not giving anyone a break, man.
Give a flying fuck this morning. I'm barely awake. Leave me alone.
Side note, Lanny Poffo was on a podcast this week. Lanny's been on the show numerous times, has called in. He's a great friend of the show and a great human being, and also, in my opinion, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, he's up there. He's definitely up there.
He's a little bit angry with podcaster Hannibal.
What happened?
Hannibal, well known for podcasting.
History. What happened?
Well, they had that work, but basically he's upset that they took naked pictures of him and supposedly they posted them. I can't seem to find them, but he did not have kind words about Hannibal. In fact, he said Hannibal is broke and Hannibal doesn't work and he sucks off the Canadian government teat.
Wow. Very interesting. I think those two are getting ready to slap each other again. Very, very interesting.
I don't know. Canada and Ecuador, too far places away.
I don't know what to think about any of that. Why on earth would Hannibal want to put pictures up of Puffo's Puffy? I'm not getting that part.
Many comments. Eric Haviland saying WWE is so atrocious without fans. It's really slipping with fans.
I hate it
there.
Yeah, I
it was really slipping, and it was really slipping with fans there. And JJ, I'm going to call him JJ because it's hard to pronounce. Okay. Can't watch today's wrestling too much. Why? I got WWE subscription. Watch old wrestling, upper 80s to 2009.
I do a lot of that too.
I do a lot of that too. In fact, this show is pretty based on older wrestling.
Sure.
Obviously, we're well versed in today's wrestling, but if you talk about the love of old wrestling, we talk about old wrestling.
Sure, but we're not stuck in our time period.
All right, guys.
Where we don't, give another, thing a shot.
Hang in there. We will return after this commercial break with our new segment. We've had 2 of them already, if you haven't seen them. This one's called Head to Head, where we put one wrestler against another, not like a dream match. We just compare them. Farrell will give the rules after this commercial break. This week, it's the living legend, or former living legend, Bruno Sammartino against Chris Jericho. We'll be right back.
You just made the list.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design.
Anticipated match in the history of professional wrestling for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready?
Pro wrestling broadcast seen every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. This is a Saturday, and if anyone didn't see it, the head-to-head video, that's where we pit these two icons in wrestling, and we say, who is the winner? The Pharaoh's going to read the rules to people. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Just for the record, by the way, that was Michael Buffer, I heard, right?
That was Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer, you're an arrogant ass. You can't lick Gary Michael Capetta's jockstrap. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, head-to-head, here we go once again with our Faberific contest. We have the old-school wrestler versus the newer school wrestler, if you will. Category number 1, mic skills. That should be self-explanatory. How do you communicate with the audience? Are you affluent in your language? Anyway, number 2, mat skills. Once again, should be self-explanatory. Are you Bret Hart or are you Pete Doherty? Oh, my arm. George Steele. Ow.
One of the great moments in wrestling history, by the way.
That was unbelievable, you know. Number 3, overall influence on the industry. What kind of footprints did you leave in this business? Number 4, my personal favorite, the back of the baseball card, as I like to call it. That, of course, is, your championships, your resume, whether you won Royal Rumbles or Money in the Banks, even if you went over to Japan and won something major. And then finally, number 5, the it factor. What kind of aura did you have in your time period? What kind of player were you? What kind of impact did you have on fan reaction and fan attendance? So that's the 5. What do we got, Mike?
Well, let's speak about today's matchup. The former living legend, Bruno Sammartino, versus La Champion, Chris Jericho.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Pharaoh, our first contestant, Mr. Bruno Sammartino.
Bruno Sammartino unfortunately passed away April 18th, 2018. He did make it into his 80s. Of course, the Italian-American legend with 2 absolutely unbelievable world title reigns that will never be repeated. The first reign lasted somewhere around 7 years. The second reign lasted somewhere close to 4 or whatever, 3 and change or whatever exactly it was. But he had 2 reigns with the WWF Heavyweight Championship spanning 4,040 days.
Damn.
He is the living legend. He is the first major guy I saw growing up with his eternally amazing feud with someone who's been on the show, Larry Zbyszko. Bruno Sammartino, to me, is basically Babe Ruth, or as close as you're going to get. Babe Ruth, Cy Young, Ted Williams. You want to go there, whatever you want to call it. That is what Babe Ruth is. That's the Babe. This is rough, man. I'm mad at you.
So,
because you did this with my guy Jericho, so I'm actually a little sore about this.
This came off a conversation with the Pharaoh we were having earlier in the week, and we weren't even talking about head-to-head, but we were just discussing Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Jericho is one of the all-time greats.
Yes.
I've never been a huge fan of Jericho.
I'm
not a fan of him.
I am a huge fan.
But as I'm thinking about head-to-head, I'm like, wow, Jericho can give Sammartino,
yes, he can,
the former living legend,
in this competition, he can give him a run
for his money.
Yep.
So this one is probably the third installment of head-to-head.
This is hard.
Is the toughest one yet.
Yeah.
Even though we had a draw on one of them, this is the toughest one.
Well, we make the matchups interesting, so I'm good with this, but I'm actually still pissed.
What is your most memorable?
You put one of my favorite wrestlers up against Bruno.
What's your memorable moment of Bruno?
It goes back to when, well, for me as a fan, it's when Larry and Bruno were having the match that Larry had challenged. Larry was the student, Bruno was the teacher, and Larry had challenged Bruno to a match just to see if he could hang with him during the match, and they're both good guys. Bruno, for some reason, is releasing holds. He's got Zbyszko and he releases it. He's taking it easy on him, and Larry is getting angrier and angrier. He's like, I want you to fight me. Don't take it easy on me. And you can see him getting angrier. Finally, Larry Zbyszko goes full-fledged heel, grabs a chair, and just beats him bloody. I had never seen anything like that. And in 1980, it wasn't commonplace to see any blood on TV. You had the X over the screen. You know, it was pretty shocking shit. You know, and then of course it climaxed with the Shea Stadium thing. That's my biggest memory of Bruno.
So I came on to wrestling a little bit later. That's where I met Jimmy in junior high.
Right.
My biggest Bruno moment, and it's probably for newer fans too, is when Randy Savage used the ring bell on Ricky Steamboat before WrestleMania 3 and tried to end Ricky Steamboat's career.
Okay.
When Savage goes back into the locker room, Sammartino was an interviewer, and Sammartino starts talking to Savage about how could you do this, and Savage starts gloating on how he's ending this guy's career. Sammartino then loses control, just calls him a piece of trash, drops the microphone, and starts to beat the living shit out of Randy Macho Man Savage.
Right. That was
for me.
That was a great program.
That, you know, we all knew about Bruno, but for me, that's my most memorable moment of Bruno. And he then carried on matches with Bruno within the Boston Garden.
I saw one the other night. It was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Bruno, by the way, was really at the end, and he was still kicking ass. He was still kicking ass. That was a great matchup.
Let's talk about our second contestant, La Champion.
La Champion! Christopher Keith Irvine. Of course, his dad played for the Rangers. Chris Jericho, of course, as he's well known as. My God, man. He's just such a legend. I love this guy. It doesn't matter where he's been. He's always been successful. He's held belts in everywhere he's gone. New Japan, of course. The most important thing about Chris Jericho to me is that he was the first ever undisputed world champion after Vince purchased WCW. We had the Universal title, which represented WCW, the World Heavyweight Championship, and we had the WWE title. And Jericho was the first one to hold both simultaneously. We know what he's done in recent years. I always thought that it was a huge mistake for Vince McMahon to let him go, and now he's become a headache as he is the face pretty much, along with Jon Moxley of AEW. Chris Jericho, at the time when he was first coming up, had to fight his way through to respectability because he was smaller, or in Vince's eyes, shorter, and he did. He had it hard. And as far as his wrestling skills, he was one of the guys, along with a Rob Van Dam and other guys like that set the bar in a lot of ways for most of the professional wrestlers we see today. I don't know if I should applaud him for this, because now it's gotten out of control where we feel like we're watching dance choreographing. But Jericho was absolutely, it feels that way sometimes, but Jericho was absolutely...
In fact, the fans are saying that right now on our YouTube page.
I agree
right?
with them. It was absolutely...
It's your fault, Jericho.
Well, it's not his fault that other people turned it into a ballet, but Chris Jericho was truly one of the great revolutionary mat guys.
Best Jericho moment?
There's too many. But you know what my favorite moment is? When he debuted with The Rock.
I'll go with you on that,
because the anticipation, the countdown, his name flashes across the screen and you hear a roar. Because it's a Jericho. And then the best part was Rock is, who in the blue hell are you?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, but it was so satisfying because I always wanted to see Jericho in a main event level. I knew WCW had mismanaged him and not done right by him. So when I see Jericho and The Rock on the first program in his new company, I'm like, yes, Vince is going to take care of him.
I also give Jericho props for this. He put the business over himself.
Yes.
He was the first guy, I believe, to lose to China.
Right.
For the Intercontinental title. Now, this is a well-established wrestler who's allowing, probably the first, and correct me if I'm wrong, fans, the first time a woman to beat a man
for a title.
Right. It probably, period, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, that in itself alone. All right, so let's get at
Jericho
it.
Gets it.
Mike Skills, Jericho or Sammartino?
Come on, Jericho. Which one?
Jericho,
Mike Skills?
Jericho, I agree. Jericho taking one over the former living legend.
It's pretty obvious.
Skills.
Jericho.
Wow.
He's got 2.
This could be a blowout, folks.
You
This
cannot
could be a
tell me
blowout.
Bruno Sammartino was a better professional wrestler on the mat than Chris
You're
Jericho.
not hearing
That's silly.
You're not hearing a disagreement with me.
Right. That's just silly.
Overall influence on the industry.
Bruno.
This one we might disagree on.
No way. Bruno. Do you realize how many greats we enjoyed during the Attitude Era who idolized Bruno? You know, we wouldn't have the Triple H's of the world or the Stone Colds we wouldn't have any of them. Bruno.
All right, so we got Jericho 2, Bruno 1.
By the way, and I know what you may be thinking, because Jericho's done so much outside the business, entertainment, blah, 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 blah. Did I ever tell you my first memories of Bruno Sammartino? The first time I saw Bruno Sammartino was on WABC's George Plimpton's Wide World of Sports, where he did a biography on Bruno Sammartino. It was the 70s. By the way, this program would do biographies on Muhammad Ali, Joe Namath, and here's Bruno Sammartino. He was one of the early ones to break the mold for the rest of these guys with television.
JJ says WrestleMania 19 with HBK and Jericho, awesome match.
Amazing. I totally agree, and I think it's a little underrated. I think it's amazing. Agree.
Back of the baseball card.
Bruno.
Wow.
4,040 days. Madison Square Garden was sold out from 1963 to 1977. Sold out. With once a week at midnight, 1 hour programming. Sold out. Bruno Sammartino's back of his baseball card will never be touched.
So we've got a tie right now. Here's a tiebreaker.
Yep.
The it factor.
Bruno. Now, if it was the charisma factor, okay, this is not about charisma. This is about what kind of influence you've got on the fans, the response of the fans, the way you work with the good guys or bad guys, depending what your role is. Dude, you do not sell out Madison Square Garden for 14 years and not have it factor. Chris Jericho cannot say that he was world champion and sold out for his company for a decade and a half. No one touches Bruno.
Well, the Pharaohs have spoken, and the winner of head-to-head goes to the former living legend, Bruno Sammartino.
By the way, that was close. You had me nervous. I was like, damn it, there's no way.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com. You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Start your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen every Thursday, produced out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. I want to remind the fans, in literally about 23 minutes, ECW superstars and pro wrestling superstars will be on the couch on the
Legends.
The Legends. Sandman and Shane Douglas will be on Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Fans, please tune in. Get your super chats ready. Get your questions ready. This is 1 hour of fun. This starts a huge month for us where we've got, in 2 weeks, we've got Stars and Stripes. That's the Patriot and Buff Bagwell. Then we have Bob Backlund in the studio.
I can't wait.
We've got Ted DiBiase and IRS in 2 separate interviews, followed up with a double interview. That's Money Inc. We've got a very rare appearance of Vampiro in studio.
Psyched.
And also in studio, we have the first UFC heavyweight champion.
Unbelievable. By the way,
the Hammer.
The original, Mr. Coleman. The very first UFC heavyweight champion. By the way, nice catch, Mike.
Monty and the Pharaoh can be seen on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, and all audio social media channels. Channel 115 in New York every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30, and for early risers, Channel 20 on Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. And on Channel 20 for you partiers. That's JJ. You're the one who thought it was Sunday. Friday, 1:30 to 2 a.m. Farrell, any parting words?
Yeah, just that we'll see you shortly with some EC Dub.
Get your super chats ready, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Can you do it one more?
Yep. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 1, check 2, check 3.
Perfect. Thank you.
They're all set too?
Yeah.
You want me to check their mics?
Yeah, well, just give me a sec. These are going to be their mics.
All right, I'm going to send you some pics for today's show real quick. Get that out of the way.
Oh, God. I had my flashlight on this whole time.
On your phone?
Yeah.
Shit.
I got the budget phone because I really don't feel like getting a new phone every 2 years. It's $800, and the battery lasts amazing on this stuff.
That's great. Do we miss any pics on the show at all?
Young Rock.
Okay, that's fine. So we're going to use a Mark Cuban picture again. It's pretty easy. I'm sending you pictures, very easy pictures today for this one.
All right, perfect.
You've got Cuban. Stereo Hall, Shane and Pitbull, and Crucifixion. That's it. Really good.
Can you talk for Jimmy?
Yep. Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Perfect, thank you.
Let me check the other guys.
Not yet.
What's up there, young man?
Hey, brother.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good. Good.
How'd you guys do?
Good.
Did you? I was trying to check you out. Here, I got something for you.
What do you got? Oh, awesome. I like that. I'm on. Look at that.
Yeah, that's yours.
I love that. Oh my God. That's great. That's great. I love that.
Testing. Testing.
This guy's crazy, man. You can enjoy yourself. You okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing good.
I sent you the pics. See if you can enable Super Chat, all right?
Yeah.
If you can.